Huge news! I have announced the name of my large fictional project. Recently, I said that I was working on some animated shorts using Blender. This is basically my direction going forward, using a large fictional project to help me develop tools and resources, and also siphoning those stories into other mediums. So the project is called The Connected Space. It's one of the names, actually. There are multiple names it may alternate between. There's a new page on my website explaining it, and this directly links up with the Patreon. So there's a completely free introduction where people can get a primer of the story if you want to see what I'm working on, learn about the stories I'm working with, learn a little bit of the fictional science behind it as well. But then following on from that, there's kind of more in-depth primers to do with the science, some short stories and storyboards, of which, the writing and the artwork is incomplete. There's access to the kind of concept art as I'm doing experiments and working on things, and of course the production files for the project as well. Now, in the past, I would typically keep all stuff like story content secret and cryptic until the final medium, like the animated short films or things adjacent to that, were ready. But I thought a lot about it recently, and I kind of came to the conclusion that, with all the AI stuff going on, I'm definitely seeing an increase in demand for authentic human-made stories. People are just getting disenfranchised with all the AI slop being thrown at them. In a recent video, I kind of outlined my use of AI in an AI policy video and how nothing is allowed to reach a final output. I can tell you now that no AI is used for any storytelling purposes, but it is used in my workflows for what I call kind of intermediate artwork, or like discovery. So like researching a question about how two faces blended together might look, or how a pattern might transition to another pattern, or stuff like that. So people want stories, and I thought, okay, well, I suppose I can put more stuff publicly. I'm kind of sitting on a huge bulk of stories that need to be finished up, cleaned up, rewritten in some cases, because some of them go back 10 years, maybe a little bit more as well, where a lot of details have changed. For example, from the 2014 to 2015 period, there's a 75-page space opera relating to the project, of which a bunch of the science has changed, so there needs a lot of rewrites there. Likewise, at the same time, it's no secret that the kind of movie space, so like certain production companies are looking for people that have stories to tell. Now, that's not the specific reason why I'm going into, suddenly giving this more of a brand identity, but putting everything together, my intent to develop tools in a more innovative space, like a whetstone to test yourself against, people wanting stories, and it now becoming valuable to have a personal story space. My conclusion from that is, it's actually kind of stupid just doing things completely randomly when I could just be contributing to a larger project of my own and developing value for it over time. So if you like stories, if you like storyboards and comics, that's another thing as well. I'm starting to hire concept artists to turn some of the stories into comics. And again, that will all feed back in. So patrons that are signed up for, all the Blender stuff, they'll just get access to the story content and comics when they become available, when they're done. That was another interesting conclusion as well. I was thinking, well, I'm doing my own 3D artwork stuff for this, and you can see the work for that. You can get access to that, and you'll see it on the unannounced channel, which you can subscribe to early if you want to. Actually, I recommend you do, because there's going to be no fluff on this channel. It will just be the kind of raw outputs. So you might as well subscribe and, set it to all. It'll be much less spammy than this channel. But I was thinking, look, I'm doing 3D outputs at the moment. I'm working on it, but there's no sense in waiting until I'm done before other mediums can be explored. So I thought, well, got a little bit of money to spend. Why don't I talk to some artists and see if they'd be interested in translating this to like a more officiated kind of 2D medium, like proper comics or something like that. And that also has the benefit of doubling up as concept art for me. So everything kind of feeds back into itself, and it's really, really fun. So yeah, I just wanted to let you know about that. But like I said, the introduction, if you go to the website and if you go to the Connected Space page, it'll either be linked at the top or on the members lounge, which has been redesigned. You see this lovely banner here, the Connected Space current production project fold, which is like a kind of subset of stories within the project. Click join the fold, it'll take you to the page. And this post here, if you click on it, it's free to access, and it will give you a lore primer and like a chronology. So there's quite a lot of writing going on. Go and take a look. And again, you can sign up to the Patreon for free. You get like a monthly roundup. Actually, I'm a bit overdue for doing the June one today because it's the 1st of July. But give it a look, see if you find it interesting. And even if you don't, if you're just here for Blender, you don't care about story, whatever, it doesn't matter. All you need to know is this is the whetstone, like I said, that I'm kind of sharpening my creative skills on to make me a better artist and developer of tools and resources. Because, it's kind of like when you look at things like the Blender Studio, I've always believed that you need hard projects to work on, to properly test workflows and innovate tools. And it's become more apparent over time, like how important that is. I mean, it probably is the whole AI thing that's kind of got me more obsessed with the idea of meaning and like a kind of emotional value and authenticity. That now when I see like old things I've done or some things done by other people, like one-off experiments, I'm thinking that's cool, but what's the point? Like, it's a cool tech demo, but it doesn't tie into anything. Like there's no meaning like to it. So in this quest for meaning, I'm trying to like tie everything back into a central narrative that may contribute something emotional or relatable to someone, or in my case, getting people to think more about reality, because that's one of the core principles here. It's an excuse for me to explore scientific ideas, theoretical ideas, without just looking like a LARPer. I call projects like this axial projects. Consider them like an axis to almost orbit creative ideas around, something that keeps everything contained and unified. So again, if you are already a silver tier patron, there's quite a lot for you to read. Again, free short stories, free storyboard comics, and if you haven't already seen the rest of the work going on, that's fine. Down here we've got a link on the policy on generative AI tools. I also just uploaded my render farm files, like my modified version of Flamenco. God, there's a lot going on. This month was very much a systems development month, like getting this platform ready, getting studio ready, all of that. I do feel a bit bad when I do system stuff because I'm like, oh, there's not as much exciting like Blender stuff to throw at people. But doing all this behind the scenes stuff is oftentimes so much more important because it gives you a runway to launch new things. Okay, so thank you for listening. Go and check it out. A lot of stuff is work in progress. But if you made it to the end of this video, as usual, put the unicorn emoji in the comments, Windows key and period key to open an emoji keyboard if you're on Windows. Have a great day, everyone, and I will see you next time.